and we'll see if this goes onto YouTube, or do I have to upload this? Yeah, okay. It's telling me it's 1 minute past the broadcast time. I know. Anyway, welcome to Innervision, everybody. We have another treat. I didn't put in all the topics that we're going to be talking about today because I just got this thing. I now got signed up with Candace Owens, which YouTube demonetized her because she was talking about, let's see, I'm going to think, what was it that she got demonetized for? I don't know if, she interviewed Kanye West, and he was speaking about what it was, and then she got into this argument with this rabbi, someone who was like off the hinge, and so they tried to accuse her of being anti-Semitic, and because she wasn't down with what they were saying about the other side, that Israel's bombing. But I'm just saying, like, if you didn't want to be bombed, you should have talked to your government that you elected, Hamas, and said, hey, you guys, we sort of like have a nice life here, so can we just keep it that way? But instead, they decided to raise a kid in that fashion, and you get what you get. And I can't believe it's going to almost be a year since that last happened. So the 7th is going to be on Monday, which we're going to be on the radio with Callywood. Now, if you ever heard of Callywood, it's CALLYWOOD.com. So we're going to be on Callywood Radio from 6 to 8 on that day. And I'm not sure if I can broadcast from the studio of the interview and stuff like that, and give you some behind the scenes of, like, a radio station and all that kind of stuff. And I listened to Callywood station a little bit today, and it's like, it's hip hop. If you're into hip hop, it is. But our singer, he's an R&B singer, so we'll be there, and then we'll do the show on the 13th. So we'll be giving away 4 free tickets on that show. So hey, Joe, how you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. It's finally quit raining.
It was raining there?
The typhoon. Well, there's been typhoon after typhoon after typhoon. They've all missed our particular area, but you get all the residual rainfall and stuff with it. So it's been raining for over a month.
Over a month. So that's like, that's almost like
sloshy.
That's not like your fall. That's not fall weather. That's just
no. It's typhoon weather. Typhoon season generally starts in June and goes through the rest of the year.
Wow. Well, so that's why it's so green there, right?
I suppose it's tropical though, so
tropical,
it's going to be green, and plus we have volcanic soil, big time.
Oh, volcanic. So does the rain like wash that stuff away a lot?
No.
I
mean, it rains enough to where you got to be careful of floods and landslides and stuff. Not particularly right here, but it's get a lot of rain.
I was wondering, do they have any like quicksand?
Because I imagine.
You see, I don't know. You see these
Tarzan movies and stuff.
Yeah, like even on Gilligan Island, I mean, they had quicksand.
Yeah.
So if you're like, it's a tropical area, they would have some form of quicksand and stuff like that.
I would think they do. I've never seen it.
Yeah. So just little stuff like that.
They have monkeys here too, but I've never seen one of them. So.
Wow. Well, yeah.
They have those flying foxes too. The
flying foxes.
Fruit bats, the big fruit bat.
Wow.
Those are big. I seen shadows of them here. In the sky. They're big.
That's wild. And they must have to eat up quite a bit to get that big.
Yeah.
You would think so.
Well, they're eating fruits though, so I don't think they're carnivorous. but I could be wrong. I don't really know. I'm not really paid attention to them
Now,
much.
now since
You know, all the mountain people have all their tales of the big bats flying and taking people away, but they also say that their voodoo stuff is also why people are gay here. So
you know, we were walking in Cheeseman Park, and you know what Cheeseman Park is known for.
yeah,
And so this guy comes up and says, "Are you blind?" And I could hear it in his voice. That yeah, I could hear it in his voice. And I guess he said that he spent a lot of time in special ed classes. And I said, yeah, okay. But it was just
yeah,
interesting that just knowing.
Jack, stop.
Hey, and then and let me ask you this. Okay, when we were growing up, like in the 60s, okay, there were like apple trees. We used to have an apple tree, and then and it was along the close to the street. For some reason, and I think I might have brought this up, the city and county said, you know, you told my dad that he needed to cut down the trees that were in front of the street. And then I heard something about they started, you know, getting rid of like either I think it was either the female trees or the male trees, so they couldn't produce any apples. So of course you had to go to the store. Because as kids, we would just grab an apple off the tree, eat a green apple, you know, whatever, and you know that was part of our snacks. You know, my mother used to can, you know, those apples. She's, you know,
Yep,
for the winter.
mine did too. My mom canned everything. We always had a basement full of canned goods.
Yeah, and so
I'd heard stories about them taking fruit trees, specifically fruit trees out of streets, you know, public roads and stuff because of that. They were
yeah.
they were trying to put the big supermarkets into place.
Yeah, could you just think
People
of like,
getting an apple here and there though, that would never break a store.
yeah,
But
I mean,
they didn't have the genetically modifying stuff that they needed to put on to sell them.
hmm, this is true.
Yeah, call me a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, yeah,
But you know, then they introduced the Dutch elm disease, and how many trees did they destroy with that? In Minnesota, where we grew up, where we were in stuff, Dutch elm disease was big, and
hmm,
they killed all these elm trees. And
hmm.
what the Dutch elm didn't kill, the lakes rising up did kill. You know, they basically drowned the trees. But somebody, I think, introduced the Dutch elm beetle, probably brought it in and let it go, trying to fix something else that they had no business fixing.
Yes. Oh, if people wonder where's Alan, he is running errands and he's with his stepfather, and sometimes his stepfather lose track of time. So
Oh,
he said he will try to get back as soon as he can, but like I said, he has to keep reminding his stepfather. It's like, I got to be back for a certain thing. And his stepfather's at that retirement age where, hey, you got all the time in the world. Oh man. So, you know,
can't
so
miss
that,
NCIS.
yeah,
Back in time to get the NCIS.
yeah. Well, yesterday night, I couldn't figure out how to hook our thing into their thing. And unfortunately, I don't think they recorded because I was looking down to see if they were recording the show, and don't. I got to help Barb out with that. But Combo was doing a meeting with a lady named Carla Jordan, and she owned this the oldest blues club here in Colorado called Ziggie's, which I think she said it was the building was built in let's see
1889.
1889. And so when she got it was like in 2007. And the story she told about, like, I guess she had been hanging out there for a while. And I'm thinking like the the previous owners, which was a lady, her daughter, and I think it was her granddaughter. They were working the place. Was just looking a way to just get rid of this place because it wasn't bringing in the revenue. And I believe
Yeah.
that, you know, these girls, the previous owners, they weren't hustling like this lady was. I mean, they were, but
There has to be I mean, I understand that you won't make a profit at some places, but a bar and a restaurant, she make a profit. My mom owned a place called the Redwood Shed up in Nebraska, you know, Hemingford, a tiny little town. My uncle started the business long time ago after he broke his back racing cars, right? And then my mom bought it from him, and they were successful at this place. And they were competing with the BFW across the street.
Yeah. And then she
So,
said she,
I mean, it can be successful, but
well,
in Denver is just such stickler on their rules and their policies and this and that, and their taxes are outrageous too.
well, yeah, she was talking about like they were grandfathered in because most restaurants, well, most people that get cabaret license, they had to, I think she said it had to be, they had to serve, it was either 40% food because they didn't want people, you know, they were full of
Stumbling
alcohol.
into the street.
Yeah. So they said that, you know, you have to, so, but she was only, because there was grandfathered in, she only had to serve 25% food.
See that law there doesn't make any sense because I lived in Denver at 38th and Perry, and that's just a little ways away from there. And there was a bar up on 38th right there, and both of our cars got wiped out by a drunk leaving the bar there. He ran into both of them.
Well, you
Of
know,
course, couldn't catch him.
I used to manage this band, Casey and Friend, and I guess the girlfriend backed into this guy's car. And so this guy was getting a hold of me because I'm managing his website and said, Johnny, could you contact Casey's girlfriend because she put a dent in my car. We need to settle this. And they're like, I can contact her, but I can't guarantee that, that she's gonna do anything about it. If she, well, who knows? You know, it's like things happen.
Did he
You
have
know?
video?
Well, yeah, that would be a good thing. They had video. It's like, man, I was like, how do I get in the middle of this thing? But this club, it sounded like and she's and so when the other ladies left the club, they took down the website, which had the calendar on it, that had all the listings of the bands that had played there. So she had to recreate a booking roster. And I think this was in the time of MySpace. So I seen
that was Facebook time.
well,
2007, 2008. That was Facebook.
yeah, but was
MySpace
was still going?
MySpace, I think, was about done by that time.
Oh yeah. Because
I remember MySpace being back in the early 2000s,
oh yeah, because that was a fantastic
long before Facebook.
that was a fantastic website because
Couldn't upload anything though. You couldn't upload music or anything else to it.
well, I tell you, I was working with this guy named Brian, and he had a coffee shop down there, and we were booking bands, and so he would get there all afternoon, and he would just because it had a thing where you can find the genre location, and it was fantastic. But when Facebook came in, Facebook didn't have any of those features. But because he was booking the upstairs and downstairs, and we had a line out the door on the nights that he did like live music. It was a fantastic.
I remember going into Ziggie's in the early '80s and stuff, and that place was always packed. It was just always packed.
Yeah, because you said it was a packed, but the capacity was 99 or 90 something.
Yeah.
But she said that, you know, that was just for the fire code, but they could really hold like 200.
Yeah, he said they had 150 was not an unusual number, and I got to agree with that. Every time that I went there or went by there, it was crowded, especially bikers. Bikers were always around.
Hmm. Yeah, and
And
I like
bikers aren't necessarily a bad thing, you know. It's just
right.
they're a different crowd. That's all.
Oh yeah, and I just like the way that she did business, where she said, "Hey, these are the rules," and then she figured out who were the ones that would. I used to have problems with that when I would book like a small venue, and the people would tell me that we can bring hundreds of people over here, and I said, "Well, let's fill up a room of 50 first, and then we'll go to a room that could hold hundreds and hundreds of people." And usually
Well,
they would
remember when we did the thing down in Castle Rock or
a
in
stagecoach.
Stagecoach?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that was mostly
yeah,
like,
people up there dancing. They had the bikers up dancing to Christian music.
yeah. Well, that's easy enough because I remember when they were protesting out there in front of the Drip Cafe. I have a group called Appalachians, I think is it. And so they would do Christian lyric songs to secular music.
Oh,
And so I'll be playing the song by uh, Billie Eilish, and they're thinking, it's Billie Eilish and it's a Christian lyrics. And then when they would find out, they would say, then they start saying, boo, boo, boo. Oh man. But the guys at the stagecoach, I guess they never found out really. And I guess, but they were having a good time. And that was an interesting. Were you there when we did her birthday party at the stagecoach? And she started doing some kind of dance, and she was doing the splits or something. And she was having a good time. She wasn't feeling any pain, but she gave us a grant of $6,000 to do that party. So good people, good people.
sorry, I have to be on a phone call.
Oh, okay.
My wife is calling.
Oh, well. And then let's see. Okay, so getting back to Ziggy's. And then I think she said something about, oh, what was these gangsters that were trying to sell her, try to get her to buy. No, they were trying to get her to give them $1 million for this place. And you said that you've heard of these guys before.
I'm having a hard time hearing you here. Let's see, something
Oh,
happened.
the audios is, I'm hearing you pretty good. Am I
Phone
going?
call. Oh, here.
Huh?
Phone call messed up my
The feed. But you were talking
messed up
about,
my video, my audio. Anyway, I
so
can hear you a bit.
you were saying something about these gangster guys that were wanting her to pay the $1 million for the club, and she's just said no. And you said you've heard of those guys. Which when I was working for the Gold Nugget, there was the gangsters from Texas. So it was like the Texas mafia was running like some of the places that were along Colfax. So, oh, see, are you fading out there? So we're having some audio. You might have to like go out and then log back in. Anyway, hey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our station if you're watching this. And don't forget to, and we're going to get down to, we're going to talk about the, okay, with Sabrina, the collaboration between Sabrina and Christina Aguilar, which I think for some reason I got the idea that Sabrina is related to the Kardashian, and that yeah, okay. Let's see. So is that better? Now that you went out and came back in? Ah, I hate that when the internet is like you should be having 4 bars and it takes you down to 1 or 2 bars. Oh, now you sound far away.
Oh yeah.
And then there's a little hum there.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, there
That's
you
a
are. There you
fan.
are. Huh?
It's a fan. It's hot here.
Yeah, I'm big like it's our evening, it's your daytime.
Yeah, morning. Yeah.
So you don't have the like the morning cooling effect.
Some days, but it's sun's coming up, so it gets warm. Our average temperature is 80, year round.
Yeah, I was telling you we're gonna get to the collaboration between Sabrina Carpenter. She's not like related to the Carpenters, but I guess not. And Christina Aguilera, which I think this Sabrina, she's related to the Kardashians in some way. But of course,
Oh
I know you don't look at reality TV of the Kardashians, and
no.
I don't even I think I've seen a commercial of it, but it's just not interesting. It's like, what would I get out of watching a bunch of rich girls do nothing? Her go is like,
And then Gene Simmons, what did he see with the Kardashians?
he was on that show.
Well, he married one of them.
He did.
I think so.
No, I knew his wife was kind of interesting and unusual. Well,
I
he's
think
kind of
she was one
interesting
of the
and
Kardashians.
huh. See, I didn't
I may be wrong, but that's
wait,
what I was.
wait, hold on. I'll find out right now. Okay. Is Gene Simmons married to one of the Kardashians? Shannon Tweed. Yes. Yeah, you got it right. Shannon Tweed.
Is she one of the Kardashians?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
According to Google here. Wow. Okay. So I would have never known. I mean, I heard her voice, but because I can't see the relationships between this person and that person, and I guess she put up with I heard she put up with a lot of stuff.
She put up with a lot. I would say
Yeah.
he put up with a lot.
Oh, well, probably both ends, because they seem like a rowdy family on both ends. Well, maybe that's the only kind of you meet your match kind of thing. And I don't think he could have been married to anyone else if they weren't a little bit,
Out
taking
there,
taking a walk in
like
a
Ozzy Osbourne and what his wife.
yes.
They're both a couple of weird people.
Oh yeah. So yeah, so okay, so I guess Christina Aguilera has been in the music business for the last 25 years. She's 42, so that means she started really young, really young. And I guess this girl Sabrina, I guess she got turned on to Christina's music when she was 11 years old, and she's just said that she's just been a fan. And I didn't quite understand this other part about it, like something about Christina either treats her like she's one of her children, or I'm not exactly sure who was treating who like one of the children, if it was her mom or Christina Aguilera. But anyway, I guess she's working on her 25th anniversary. And my wife, she was, because since Innervision has been around for 30 years, she wanted to do a 30-year anniversary. And I don't know, I just wasn't feeling it. I mean, we've been through so much. It's like,
Yeah.
sometimes you just want to just keep moving. Oh, but yeah. But I did know this
And
one lady.
my sister keeps wanting me to move back there, and it's like, No, I'd be walking beside Alan with no house,
Oh,
no,
yeah, because it
plus a
is crazy.
child and a wife
It is
in
pretty
tow.
wild. And this is not even in the thing. Did you on Oprah interview with Kamala? They kept showing this interview where this part of the interview where one of the ladies in the audience says, I have to move in with my parents, and then we saved a little bit of money. Now we got our own place, and now my brother and his wife moved in with us. He says, what will you do to bring down the prices? And Kamala had this dazed look in her eyes, looking around for the monitor. Where's the answer?
Yeah,
Then she,
they had a teleprompter.
yes, the teleprompter, yes. And then she gave an answer that had nothing to do with what she's going to do about bringing down the interest rates. And I'm
She
thinking
doesn't have
like,
an answer for anything because she ain't gonna make it to the presidency. I don't
yeah,
think that they
yeah,
can't win with her.
yeah. And then I heard something about Nebraska, which I know some people in Nebraska. I guess they didn't fight hard enough to get something passed or get something through, and it looks like the Democrats is taking over that thing, and it looks like if it may go blue, and that was one of the things that were where it's a red state. They have 60% of Republicans in their Congress, but they seem to be lazy. And what is this about? People who are just passive, and you could just run them over. And I guess we saw a lot of that stuff when the pandemic was around, where they said, put on the mask, put on your mask, stand 6 feet apart, you stand 6 feet apart. But then there were some of us who say, hey, this is not normal, right? And
Yeah,
even
see,
hmm?
when we were in that, to get into a grocery store, you had to show a card, a,
A card saying
a
that you took
card,
the jab.
a jab card, yeah, a vax card, and it's like I never got a jab, and the security guards, what are you coming for? I said, groceries. That's why we're at the grocery store. Oh, I said, go ahead and go in. You have to do if you had a fever or not, you had to take a temperature test and stuff, but that was no big deal.
Is that the thing where they put the thing on your head and
Yeah, well, they just use one of those handheld laser pointer things to take your temperature.
oh man, God, I can't believe that. I can't believe how we just folded like that. And of course, my history about doctors giving you medicine that will change your life. I said, no way am I going to listen to the government tell me to take a shot, well, like
Yeah,
that. It's
there's
like,
absolutely no way I would do that. They were
yes,
trying to do that with the school kids here too, and in Manila area, it was required.
hmm,
Here at that time, Sammy was just going into preschool and stuff, so it was no big deal, and we didn't have to do it.
hmm.
But my wife went to work in Manila, and for her to even get in the city, she had to have a test, had to have a vax.
That's wild.
And
I don't know, man. I just I just have a problem with one size fit all. It's just
well,
something. Yeah.
in the United States, you can fight it. Anywhere else, pretty hard
Hmm.
to fight. I mean, when the government has total control, they have total control. Like here, they have control. Everybody follows it because most people live off of government stuff,
Hmm.
and that's
Yeah.
just the way it is. Third world countries, you don't get much say so in anything.
Hmm.
Corruption, corrupt to the core.
And speaking of corruption, Cardi B, I guess she was having a conversation with one of her TikTok followers, which I haven't really, because if you look at something like that, then they start feeding you that stuff on TikTok, and I said, No, I got the people I want to. If I want to watch it, I don't want Cardi B popping up on my stream. But I guess she was talking to one of her fans and something about she didn't get her nationalizations completed. And I'm thinking, if you got that kind of money, I know you get busy with the concerts and all that kind of stuff, and everybody, probably everybody around her is not making a big deal of it. So she's not saying, well, why should I make a big deal of it, right? Unless you're like Paul McCarthy, and you fly in and then they catch you with marijuana, or and then they deport you because
Yeah. Yeah.
you have drugs in your private plane. Which, oh, and this is totally a little bit off the. I heard that the government was flying in drugs into the USA with using Puff Daddy's private planes and hip hop stars private planes. So they just found another way to bring drugs in underneath the curtain because it was a
Right.
private plane. Yeah, underneath the radar.
Yeah.
And I said,
Yeah.
which I could believe that. I mean, I don't have to put in
You
a
know,
tin hat.
a friend of mine had gotten busted for flying drugs into the U.S.
In a private plane.
Yep.
Hmm. So they do
I think
like
they went to,
random checks.
well, you're flying into a no-name airfield in Texas or wherever you're.
Ah, okay. Okay, then
I'm sure they were. I'm sure they were set up, but irregardless, it's illegal.
and I'm thinking for some reason the last time I was in an airport, they had these drug sniffing dogs. Oh yeah. When I went to Milwaukee, for some reason they had these drugs sniffing dogs at the
Yep.
airport, which I hadn't seen that one before. So I don't know if they've always done that or this is just something new.
They probably had a report of somebody bringing something, I would guess,
Yeah, because
or
I
they
mean,
just do it randomly. I don't.
yeah. Now let's okay. So if you guys want to go catch that, it's on TikTok Live. I'm sure you can find Nicki Minaj's thing. She just talks so ignorant. It's hard for me to listen to her. Um, so it's like oh, okay. Now I put this in chat to generate our topics. So chat it is sort of like politically corrected this. So the original thing was talking about like uh, Lady Gaga rumors about like if she has been was a man in a past life or in a younger life, whatever, and they put it. Let's say rumors about her appearance. That could mean a lot of things. What do you mean? Rumors about your appearance. It could mean uh, like in some of these videos, you see these guys, they have green hair, they got all this weird stuff tattooed all over their body. Now that could be like rumor. And then of course she used to wear all the different weird hats and stuff like that. Uh, and so, but the rumors about her appearance was like that. I guess she had a lot of man type features. And even this president in France, they said that they can't find any earlier pictures of him, and he said that he's always been a guy, but there's rumors that he might have been a woman in a previous reincarnation.
Reincarnation.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like, and then you name an actress that they were asking. She was part of
Jennifer
Friends.
Aniston. Jennifer
Yeah,
Aniston. There was always rumors about her being a guy.
because she had an Adam's apple.
Yeah, they
Or
tried to point that out in a few pictures. I don't know that they really proved their point, but
yeah. But if you get a chance, watch Candace Owens' show today because she was comparing these pictures of Carmela's grandmother and the just family members there, which when she wrote this book, they must have knew that this would come up, but they just like when they came up with the birth certificate of Obama, they didn't know that some people will see that the birth certificate was done in layers, and that it was easily like easily detachable to find out what layer was under this layer, what layer was under this layer. So these guys, I don't know, it's like I guess, Hollywood politics is all like a smoke screen. And then the ones you don't see in front of the cameras, maybe those are the people that are maybe a little bit for real, because they're not always kind of jump in front of a camera. They just kind of do the job, or maybe they just want to go along to get along. It could be a combination, go along to get along, or just, put their heads down and do the job.
Even the old Walt Disney cartoons were loaded with symbolic stuff, mostly pedophilia.
Stuff?
Mostly pedophilia stuff.
Oh yeah. See that's
Sleeping Beauty, Mickey Mouse, they all had lots of symbolic crap in them.
Wow.
There's one thing where Mickey Mouse was making cheese. What do you think he was using to poke the holes out in the Swiss cheese?
Well, see, my naive stuff with the cheese cutter.
No, it wasn't. There was something on his lower extremities.
Oh, get out of here! No way.
Holes out. Yeah.
That is wow.
I mean, and it's so subtle that you'd never see it. But and then all the owl stuff that was in their cartoon, older cartoon. Owl is a satanic symbol, all knowing.
That's wild. So they were kind of slept. I mean, later on when I started going, I know they put subliminal things in there to get you to go get some Pepsi, popcorn, drinks, Coca-Cola and stuff like that. But I guess I was saved from a lot of that because I couldn't see very well. So subliminal or not, it wasn't really affecting me.
Yeah.
Because I used to watch a lot of TV, well, black and white TV and stuff like that, just so I can get an idea of what is normal, or what are people normally doing, so I just get some feedback on the world, because I couldn't see them in person, but on the TV I can get close enough so I could see like most of it and stuff like that. So I think I got saved from that. Well, Alan too, because he got his eyes removed when he was like 2 years old or something like that.
Oh,
so
really?
So all that subliminal stuff, it probably went over our heads. And that's probably why
we never really got to watch TV that much. We had a TV, but in Wisconsin we had 3 channels, or maybe just 2 channels, and then we moved to Minnesota. We had more channels because we were in Hastings, which is south of Twin Cities and stuff. But we were outside playing. We were always down by the Mississippi River, playing in the caves and stuff, smoking cigarettes, watching Captain Kangaroo.
And for some reason, we had about 6 TVs in that house. And my dad would find these old TV. I mean, they were, old, big TVs, So my mother, for Christmas, my older brothers bought a TV for the living room. But we couldn't watch it all the time because the living room, you have to keep it clean, right? And in order to make it a color TV, she got this plastic that has green on the bottom, orange in the middle, blue on the top. And they put that over the TV. That was supposed to like make the TV color TV. I said, what a weird concept. What a cheap concept. But people bought it.
I don't think we had color TV until I was in high school.
We had this. Well, let's see. I think. Yeah. That was about it.
early 70s.
Yeah, we didn't
So
get a color TV until then too, because my sister got one first, then my mother got one, and then we had a bunch of black and white TVs, and then we had this really old color TV that wasn't good at all. And that just old TV. So yeah, and then we got a really nice color TV in the living room. So we threw out that other TV, which it had a record player in it. So my brothers would play music on that TV, my teenage brothers. And it's like, so when the color TVs came in the 80s, that's when we got rid of that TV and got a really nice color TV in the living room, which I think is still there today. Who knows? Who knows? I haven't been over there in my mother's house in a long time. My sister and my brothers, they lived there. So anyway, so it's like, it's a lot of, yeah. So this is like ancient history for the ones people, the kids that were born in the 2000s, or even even in the 90s. This is like old history. Which no,
that makes me feel old.
oh man, 3 channels, and then at 10:30, you would hear the color bars, the pleasure of releasing, and then the station would go off until morning.
Yeah.
Now they had total control of us then. You know,
Like Cheech and Chong. Oh, what are you watching? Oh, it's a funny Indian movie. Oh man, that's a test pattern.
oh man, I gotta go say I got a few of their movies like an audio description. So it's like there's no other way I can understand these movies unless it's audio description. It was one movie where I don't know if you ever saw it. Chief Meredith was with this girl, and they were in the car, and she passed out. So he looked at the camera and he says, "Should I?" And so he's asking the audience if he should, even though she was passed out. And that's because I saw that in the theater, and I don't remember if the audience were responding, but I said, who would ever think of doing something like that? Ask the audience, like, okay, you're in this situation, this girl's passed out, should I? And so
Yeah.
you get the feedback from the audience. I mean, those guys, they had some concepts.
They
Oh.
really did. Their humor was
Oh, definitely. Well, anyway, hey, well, this is gonna do the show. I guess Alan, his stepfather, probably said, "Hey, let's go have dinner." And I tell you a little story. They mostly like to eat Popeyes and TV dinners. So if they go out to eat, that is a big treat. So I haven't ate a Popeye since 70s, maybe early 80s. The turkey chicken Popeyes.
I'd get those Marie Callender pot pies. Those are actually pretty good.
See,
You buy a big box of them at Costco or Sam's Club, and you're good for a week of food for late shift work.
And the best microwave, don't ever put those in the microwave. If they have the microwave thing, put them in the oven because they brown just right. But in the microwave, they just haven't worked that out.
Well, the Marie Callender ones, they had that a foil type thing on the inside of the box,
Oh,
so that would get them brown.
Oh yeah. I just never had
Not
any
real
good luck.
brown, but kind of.
Yeah, I say, hey, if you got an oven, put it in the oven because it's like just a better taste. Well, anyway, we're gonna end this, and hey, thanks, Hey Joe, for joining us, and then we'll be back tomorrow night with some other crazy topics.
Hey,
All right.
good time. Talk to you later.
All right. All right.